All right, we're live, man. We are live here. I am with Shawn Harper, and we could be on this podcast today talking a whole lot of football, which is my favorite sport, but we got other more serious matters to talk about. He's going to inspire us like none other today. Is that right, Shawn?
Oh yeah. Today we are going to win, and we're going to understand what it is to win, and we're going to play to win for ourselves and our legacy.
All right. Well, we'll see how good of a job he does today on this episode. I am counting on him, and we'll see. We shall see on this
Okay.
episode of The Authority Project.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, feast your eyes and tune your ears. It's that time again. We are live with another episode of The Authority Project. It's the video podcast streamed on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Periscope, where we talk to digital marketers, business coaches, and creators of all kinds on how they've built authority in their field and how you can mimic their success. Developing authority, building your audience, and attracting better clients to your own business. Now, without further ado, let's bring to the virtual stage your host, Brian S. Arnold.
All right. We are back on the virtual stage of The Authority Project. You are the project, and we want to slap authority to your name so you can sell what you're great at. And we have a treat for you today, and his name is Shawn Harper. He is a former NFL player. I love the NFL. I love football all day, every day. Like I said, we can probably talk about that for an hour, but we're not here for that. We're here to make sure that you finish off strong in 2020. But before we dive in, please tell us, Shawn, first of all, who you are personally and then professionally.
Personally, my name is Shawn Harper. Personally, I'm a warrior. I'm a child of God. I don't hide that. I think that authenticity is huge. And so when I'll just, go there, speaking with your voice of who you are mentally, spiritually, socially is extremely important if you want to win in 2020 and in 2021. Born and raised on the south side of Columbus, Ohio, had a very interesting childhood, but I've learned how to rebrand my adversity by looking for opportunities and looking at it from a perspective of gratitude. Professionally, like you mentioned, I played 7 years professional football with the Rams, with the Colts, retired, and now I not only run my own, have my own firm for almost about 20 years. I teach people how to win. That's me.
I love it. Awesome. I am so excited. So tell us right now, before we go further in, tell us what project you're currently working on right now.
Well, you
What's
know
your
what?
current?
Yeah, sure. I just finished my first coaching course.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, it's actually finished. It's so new that I'm not even going to advertise it today. I'm not even going to talk about it today. If you go to Shawn Harper Wins, probably sometime next week, it'll be up. But I am so excited about that. I
Okay.
was actually challenged because, I cut my teeth on speaking. So I travel and I speak all over the world, and people have been challenging me like, you know what, it's great that you're able to speak, great that you have a platform, but you know what, when you leave, you're gone, where are the books? And so I had to hurry up and get books. Now they're like, where's your courses? And so I had my first course finished, and that's what I'm working on right now.
Okay, great. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get into it. Tell us, where do you begin? Tell us your journey. Like, what took you to this place where you're in this space of being on stage? You're doing courses now. You're writing books to inspire others. Where did that all derive from?
Okay, so in order for you to, in order for me to really, explain that, I have to give a little backstory of my personal life and my upbringing, and it kind
Sure.
of forced a shift in my perspective, my ideology, and my thinking. Born and raised on the south side of Columbus, Ohio. And most people think, if you play professional football, you're a business owner, you must have had, great opportunities growing up, silver spoon in the mouth. And, nothing, I promise you, nothing could be further than the truth.
Okay.
My struggle started early as a product of a single home environment. Mom was mom and dad, and butler and maid, whatever you have it. That's what she was. And she raised all 6 of us all by herself. It was just, amazing. 6 kids, 1 house, 1 bathroom, and mom did that. She's a remarkable woman. Educationally, I really suffered. I had to repeat the 1st grade, documented with 4 to 5 learning disabilities by the time I was in the 5th grade. I was kicked out of 2 schools for disciplinary issues, left high school with a 1.62 cumulative GPA, 9 on my ACT. In fact, I didn't even start I barely started in high school football. I wasn't honorable mention, all conference, all city, all state, all intergalactic, none of that. In fact,
Okay.
I would sit at the banquets and I would be all the way in the back, eating that nasty cordon bleu. And, these guys are getting, all these awards. And, I was just so upset. I mean, I wouldn't tell no one, but I was extremely depressed, angry. In fact, I was voted most likely to fail, right? From graduating last in my class in academics, I get a phone call from a junior college, a 2-year school in Iowa. And they're like, Shawn, we want you to come to Mason City, Iowa, junior college to play football. The coach believes you have this thing called potential. Like, what is that? And I go to the cornfields of Mason City, Iowa. And the first year at that junior college, I sat the bench the entire season, not one play. And I remember calling my mom, like, Mom, I quit. I give up. I'm done. And I'm expecting mom, like, baby, you tried. Come on home.
Yeah.
Oh God, the opposite, boy. Stay. You ain't coming home. Like, what are you coming home to? Okay. There's a lot of violence. There's just things at home. No, don't stay away. And sometimes that shift is good for kids. And so going into that 2nd year, I had a conversation with myself, and the conversation was more on the lines of, you're right, or they're right. You don't have the education. You don't have the accolades. You're horrible at football. You suck right now. Okay. There's no way you can be successful. Okay.
Right.
But you can win. You can win. And the moment I made that paradigm, that shift in my mind, you can win, I begin to look at life differently. I begin to look at life as a challenge. I begin to look at opportunities that I've never seen. Like, I begin to MacGyver life, right? And I went from, sitting on the bench with the winning mindset that I was able to adapt. And if you want, I can expand on that to, being, junior college Hall of Fame, all region, full scholarship to Indiana University, draft day in the NFL, 3rd pick in the 4th round. To taking that same concept of winning and bringing it to corporate America.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Okay, so with all that backdrop, tell us where this title of Lane to Win, what does that mean to us?
Well, what that means is that, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I believe that success is for suckers.
Okay.
Success is a man-made concept. You weren't created to be successful. You were created to win. Well, the first thing that they did is that they changed the title from winning to success. Now that they've changed the name, they've rebranded it. Now they can define what it is. And now you are chasing this thing called success when you're meant to be successful. And there's a lot of depression in your pursuit of success, a lot of energy in your pursuit. Poverty is in your pursuit because you're spending all your time, energy, and money impressing people. Now, I know I have a lot of naysayers, right? Like, Shawn, that's kind of crazy. So let me just talk a little bit about that. Why is it that you mentioned football? Why is it that, by the way, what's your favorite team?
Patriots, New England Patriots.
It's what?
The New England Patriots.
Okay. So let's say that the New England Patriots, this could be a real life example. Let's say that the New England Patriots lost every game for the next 5 years. Right. Now, you remember what the stadium was like and how you could not get a ticket when Brady was in New England, right?
Right. Exactly.
So now, imagine the Patriots lost every game for the next 5 years, okay? You could probably go down to the stadium, pick up a ticket from a scout under cost, and walk into that stadium.
Yep.
If they win every single game and Cam gets his act together, the team gets on point, and they win every single game for the next 5 years, the governor will be hard pressed to get a ticket to see the Patriots. Now think about that. Why is that? Because from a cellular level, our DNA, we are attracted to winning. Okay. Gambling is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah.
Why is gambling a multi-billion-dollar? When I fly to Vegas, man, people are sitting at them slots all day. They don't want to be successful. They want to win.
Yeah.
Gaming, kids play these video games. You're like, the parents get mad at the kids. No, it's tapped into the dopamine release. It's tapped into who they are. They are attracted to winning like a moth is to light. Think about this for a second. If anyone's hearing me right now, you are 1 to 2 to 3 million sperm cells that fertilize the egg. Now, they talk about that. Motivational speakers mention that, but really think about, they were pursuing. They weren't trying to be successful. They didn't hand out their business cards on the way. They were trying to win.
Yeah.
Then around the 3rd or 4th grade, they introduce a new concept to you. About the time you realize Santa Claus ain't real, they introduced this concept to you called success.
Yeah.
The problem with success is that success is not static, which means that you can be in New England, New York, and have about $4 million. You all right? You take that $4 million to downtown Manhattan. You take that same $4 million to Dubai. You po.
Yeah.
Now, since success is not static, you're never satisfied. You're never content. How many people you know who are just content?
Yeah. A lot. Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
So when you live your life from an actual winning perspective, now when you speak, your actions, everything, your entire being is moving, not just the intellect in your will.
I love it. That's great. I've never heard it like that before. I like that. The win. I got it. I got it already. So what do you feel are the biggest things holding people back when, just like in any football game, when when the momentum, when you have the momentum, when you don't, when it's a lot of it is mental. So what do you think is holding people back when they don't see it yet?
When they don't see their.
So let me say it like this.
Okay.
When they have dreams, and then the days, the months, even maybe the years go by, and it's not yet realized, and they feel like maybe these are the cards I'm dealt.
Okay, so one of the main struggles with success is that they not only tell you where to go, they tell you how to get there. And then when you don't get there, they don't have an answer for it. So on the success model, it's great education, great network. You went to MIT, blah, blah, blah. And so we're going to force the whole student loan thing down your throat, and you're going to work real hard. And if you do all these things, then you'll be successful. You know what? Raise your hand out there. If you followed all the rules, if you did everything just right, and you look at your life like, you know what? I'm not there. So when you jump on a winning platform, the only thing that they give you a lot of times are the laws, are the rules of the game. That's it. These are the rules. Now you do what you have to do. You do whatever comes to you. You think outside the box. You focus on teamwork. And that's one of the biggest gems in winning, is that winning forces collaboration and teamwork. Now think about this for a second. You can really win at life if you have a team. How come teamwork was never taught? The only time they really teach teamwork is in sports, obviously. And when you go and after you get out of graduate school, after you get out of your going for your bachelor's, then you go for your master's. They don't even teach teamwork then. They teach collaboration. And so they have little groups, and they will, after you pay your $85,000, then whatever grade the group gets is what you get. Okay. But why? Why are they teaching that? Because they're teaching you how to collaborate. but they're not teaching you how to create a team, win with a team, manage a team. They're not teaching you that. That's for the big boys. That's something that's basically hidden knowledge. So think about this for a second. Think of some of the greatest people in the world in reference to finances. When you think of Bill Gates, they're like, wow, he's in the top 5 richest men in the world. But guess what? If I ask your audience, who was Bill Gates' business partner, his teammate, half of the people, over half, would not know who that person was. He's dead. It was Paul Allen. No one talks about Paul Allen. Let's say one of the richest men in the world again. Let's say Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett. Well, if you attend his shareholders meetings once a year, to the left, there's another guy, his partner. His name is Charlie. Charlie's been with him for, I don't know, 30, 40, 50. He's right by his side the whole entire time. Nobody talks about Charlie. You talk about musically wise, I mean, I love music. So some of your audience could remember Paul Simon and Garfunkel, we talk about Paul Simon. No one talks about Garfunkel. Everyone talks about Mick Jagger. No one talks about Keith Richards. Right. It's always a team. Your win, your success, or your win in life is based off of not only your talent, but the team that you build and manage and maintain. Think about Prince, James Brown, who is Fred Wesley, who's Maceo Parker. I can go on and on about this.
Yeah, I love it. That's great stuff, man. So I just want to tag on to that, we have a lot of solopreneurs who listen to the show, a lot of coaches who are it's just them, just solo. So in this searching, that's one of the goals, to get a team, to get that. How do you, first of all, tell them the importance of having a team and the importance of having people around you to make you better.
So in the 5th grade, I was documented with 4 to 5 learning disabilities. Okay. And they were going to put me in special ed, blah, 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 this. And my mom, bless her heart, she stood up mid-meeting and she slammed her hand down. She said, no, you will not label my son. She was adamant about that. And she forced me, and we struggled all the way through. But what it did was that it actually also forced me to look outside of myself for answers. So I had someone help me type my paper. I had somebody help me study. I had somebody help me do this. I had somebody help me. It was just crazy. So I learned that the hard way. The importance of team, it is everything. You have to have a team. And you know what? A lot of times it's right in front of us, but we don't even focus on it. Let me give you an example. Scooby-Doo, right? Like it was a team.
Yeah.
Look at the superheroes, there it is again, team development, teamwork. And what's so funny is that you never hear, I have never heard a superhero complain about his weakness. I've never heard of somebody else criticizing that superhero for his or her weakness. Superman doesn't say, oh my God, kryptonite. I have a disability because do you know he would be stuck if all he focused on was his weakness? Yeah. No. Batman, I need you to go there and put that in a bucket. And once you do, tell me, because I'm going to take over everything.
Yeah. Awesome.
You have to have a team.
Awesome. And does that team, one of my questions is, how important is it for people to push you? Is that team a compliment, but also are they also there to help you, inspire you to go further mentally as well?
Right. So this is not a shameless plug, right? But I just finished the book. I just finished the book about a month ago. It's not even, no one even knows this book is out, right? I got a lot of stuff in the pipeline. But I talk about the 5 elements you have to have to really achieve your goals. And one of them is a coach. You have to have, and the reason why you have to have a coach is that you have to have somebody to push you into the 212. And what I mean by that is that water is water at 211 degrees. If you add a little bit of fire to that water, it goes to 212 degrees. Once water goes to 212 degrees, water boils. And baby, boiling water has changed the world. But everyone wants to stay in the 211. Now, the secret to that is that a coach has the ability, he or she, to push you into the 212. The coach is not impressed with you. The coach is like, you know what? That's great. Everyone's clapping, but you can do better. There's more in you. We'll draw it out of you. The coach has been called to pull the king out of the kid. The coach says, you know what? I'm gonna push you past you because your natural defense mechanisms will kick in and will bring you back. But a coach will see that and take you to the next level.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So let's talk about this, because everything that you're saying sounds great. It's wonderful. Sounds great. But how does one start to believe in themselves on a consistent basis? Because sometimes it's hard. You see yourself here. Next day it's not so great, but production's down, and then you're down here.
Okay, so I'm gonna share something with you, okay? And I might get in trouble with in motivational speaking them.
Okay.
Right? I talk to a lot of motivational speakers, a lot of success coaches.
Yes.
None of us is like that. We are human. We're human.
Yeah.
We have our insecurities. We have our fears. And, I'm upset at the industry because we don't share that, thus now we create this kind
of a Superman effect, right?
Yeah, it's wrong. It's not right, man. It's like, I know some speakers who are right now, as we speak, because I talk to a lot of them. I talk to some big names. Right now, they are in full-fledged depression. So it's not that we don't experience that. The real challenge is, what do you do when you experience that? Yeah. And one of the things that I do is that I start to take the focus off myself. And I'm like, I'm not where I need to be, and this is not happening, and I haven't taken over the known world yet, and I'm upset. They're like, well, so now I turn that inflow, because I'm sobbing in my sorrows, into an outflow. So I start to sow into people's lives. I start to give. Or one of the things I do, which is amazing, is that I go on to Facebook and, I pull up like 20 people, people I barely know. And I'd be like, you know what? All's going to be well with you. People that I do know, you know what? You're awesome. You know what? You're great. I start pouring out. I start forcing. I actually turn the engine or the energy outward. Now it does two things. Number one, it takes the focus off yourself. Number two, it activates a law. Okay. And I'm big on spiritual law. The more you put out, the more that comes in. It doesn't come to you. It doesn't stick with you if it can't get through you. And so I have to turn the inflow and turn the engine around, the air around, and make it an outflow. And sometimes it comes naturally. Sometimes you gotta kickstart that thing.
Yeah. So this is a question that I might be asking more often, because I think people are interested in this. What is your daily routine?
Wow. So I have a very interesting routine.
Okay.
I get up sometimes 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And I'm up and I try to go into prayer. And I try to pray. And I use the word try because sometimes I'm not all that successful, or that I don't win at it sometimes, but I pray, and I started out that way because I speak and I declare into the atmosphere, everything that is already is. Okay. And everything that is already is in the spirit. So I speak in the spirit. I speak my destiny. I speak my purpose. I speak over my life. Sometimes I have to repent. Sometimes I have to apologize, but first I get rekindled, I get centered spiritually. Then I now, from the inside spiritually, then mentally, then physically. And so I try to get to the gym around from there around 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm at Lifetime Fitness. I'm working out. I'm walking. And then I start plotting because I'm an owner, I'm a boss. And so if I don't have my stuff together, then, everybody's gonna have their stuff together. So I'm like, you know what? This needs to be done. 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 And then I also at that time connect with my virtual assistants as well.
Awesome. Okay, so there you go. Everybody has that routine. I might have to be doing that more often. I watched one of your videos. You talked about the thing about being a victim.
Right.
Can you go into that a little bit about the aspects of being a victim and why you should not be that?
Yeah, that being a victim is so dangerous because number one, because like we mentioned earlier, being a victim is an inflow. Okay, man, that's a book. It's like, you know what? No, it's like poor me. This is me. This is where I'm at. This is how I feel. Blah blah blah. You have just listen. You have just validated your position where you're at. Yeah. This is how I feel. This is where I'm at. This is what you've done to me. You have validated your position on where you're at. There's no motion there. Okay. So victims always focus on what they're going through, not what they're going to. So a victor now looks at his position, but he looks outward. Okay. And whatever you focus on, you'll manifest. Change your focus, change your life. And so now I'm like, a victor says, this is where I'm at, but this is where I'm going in the same sentence. This is where I'm at, comma, or conjunction, but this is where I'm going. Yeah. And so that's now their focus. So that's where they're going. When you play football, and it's time to play your arch rival, you go in there and the coach is like, hey, this is our objective, win the game. This is where we're going. And you know what? Everyone is locked into that. Everyone is pushed into that. Everyone is flowing into that win. Right. It's very important. When you begin to look at your scratches and bruises, man, you lose focus.
Yeah. I'm not sure who I heard it from way back when, but it kind of stuck with me. The same thing you're saying, like when you're watching a story, a movie or a film, nobody likes the victim. Yeah. I mean, no, you might play it though, but no one wants to see you stay in the victim state.
Right.
You can be there, but they want you to succeed. They want you to overcome and be the victor eventually. So, I think that's a great point that you're saying, because that also projects to the people you're trying to serve. So if you're still in this state, and you're still saying, "Well, it's me," that rubs off on the people that you're trying to serve too. Like, okay, well, if you can't do it, then maybe I can't do it either.
Yeah. There's no spiritual momentum. There's no momentum. Yeah. And you have to have that momentum. That is a big word. That is a big word going into 2021. Right now is how do you build your momentum? It's because between 2000 and 2021, it's just a day. It's just a day on a daggone calendar. And if you're not prepared now, if you're not preparing now and building the momentum now, then going into January is just going to be a day. January 1st is a day. Okay, eat some black eyed peas. Happy New Year. It's a new year. And no, now you need to build your momentum now. Build your momentum now for 2021.
I love it. And that's great. The people are seeing you here. They love what you're saying. But you know what? What is people are saying? You know what? Yeah, Shawn, but you've been in the NFL. Of course, you're already positioned to do great things in this space. You've already gone through the disciplinary stuff. You've already had coaches, so you're already there. You are already. You've had that exposure, so of course you're going to succeed. Like people that what if people never did sports or whatever, had those kind of opportunities and so forth. Come on, Shawn.
Right. So. Well, first of all, okay, listen, if life is a game you play to win, either you playing the game or you're being played by the game. Okay, but the game is still going on. Second of all, what gives credibility to what I'm saying is that you saw where I came from.
Yeah.
Okay, there was nothing there. 0.02% of any athlete makes it to the NFL for 1 year. 1 year. Okay. And I came from not even, being in, no all nothing to playing in the NFL. That's number one. Number two, I was able to not only do it in the professional ranks, which I had the physical size. I'm trying to lose weight right now. Just pray for me, Jesus. Okay.
It's tough.
Okay. I'm like, man, this okay. But not only excelling in as far as the NFL, I've been a business owner since 1998. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's like 22. I don't know, 98, 2008. That's over 20 years of grinding, which the average business lasts for. 90% of all businesses or 85% of all businesses fail within the first 5 years. So I've already beat those odds. And the profit margin that was generated or the revenue that was generated, I've already beat those odds. I've been married for 21 years. I've already beat those odds. Okay. So there's something I'm doing right. And listen to me, it's not based off of ability alone. Okay, because athleticism, great, that's for the football. But what about in business? Well, you saw where I came from, so how am I making it in business? Okay, well then, what about relationships? Well, hey, you know what? That's a totally different field. Okay, so then what is it that you're doing different?
Yeah. So I want to get into this because I know I wanted to get into, and I'm just going to put this in a whole big umbrella. We're in this pandemic, right? We're in a world of trying to get past this virus thing. We have social unrest right now. We have many conversations about diversity in organizations and just equality in general. Then you have because of the pandemic, the stages are empty. The money flow that you were going to have this year is not there because you can't get on stages. You can't do your summits and everything else. So everything is out of whack. How do we get past this so that, because and I've heard this from clients, and it's like they're like, I'm sorry, Brian, I know I was supposed to have a session last week. I'm just like, it's just, and this year is it's just crazy right now for me. So how do you work that in when people, it's everything is still in your face, the politics and the social media it's just, how do you stay focused through all this? I know that was a lot.
No, it's fine. This is something that I can lean on as far as the NFL is concerned. Okay. Imagine you're in the stadium and Indianapolis Colts is playing the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
And I'm playing and it's like cold outside. It's very cold. It's like, really super, super, super cold outside. And I'm, playing and the opposite team is yelling at you and they're talking about your mama and everything possible that, and they're, and you're trained in all of that to listen for the count and listen for the play because the quarterback can change the play and the snap count. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying that in this environment, you have to shut off everything. You got to step back from the politics. You have to step back from the social media. You got to step back and you got to watch and you got to listen. You got to withdraw yourself unto yourself. And you have to look and to listen and to learn because right now there are opportunities in this pandemic that can make somebody a billionaire. Let me give you an example. Like we're not using Zoom as a platform, but go ahead. I challenge you. I challenge anyone listening to me right now, pull up a 6-month chart on Zoom, pull up a 6-month chart on let's say not only Zoom, another Square, pull up a six. I mean, these stocks are going. Yes, there are people. You know, most wealth is created in paradigm shifts. In 1990, 91, the computer was introduced for the first time for public use. In that moment, companies blew up. They didn't know they were going to blow up. And in that moment, companies failed. Like the post office is about to fail because of that paradigm that happened in 1990. 9/11 was a paradigm. This virus is a paradigm. Commercial real estate is in trouble. At the same time, there's other opportunities that are blowing up.
Yeah.
You have to pull yourself back and look for the opportunities, retool, reposition yourself.
I love it. Learn how to pivot. I think
Yeah.
that's what a lot of people. Some people are getting it. Some people aren't getting it.
But in order to pivot, you have to get in position.
Yeah.
So when you're dribbling the ball and it's time to pivot, you just don't stand up and go, oh, no, you get in position. Now you can shift. But if you're still up here thinking we're going to go back to normal, it's going to be the way that it was, it will never be the same way again. It's over.
Yeah.
Game over. I lost 90% of all my engagements within 2 days. They were gone. But guess what? I now had to, up the technology. I got a cam here. I got a brand new microphone here. I'm meeting you for the first time. I had to make the switch.
Right. So what do you say to the people who don't want to switch, can't make that switch, and they feel like it's gonna get back to where they were? Because a lot of times crisis comes and then we get back to where we were. Why is this so different now, you think?
Well, because it has attacked the fiber of our being. It has attacked the psychological mindset of America.
Yeah.
What made America so strong and powerful is that we always saw ourselves as winners.
Yeah.
We don't want to admit it, but we're kind of arrogant. This thing especially when you go overseas, like, wow, like I'm an American. That daggone blue passport is powerful. Well, this right here, it's kind of humbled us. It's kind of broke us a little bit. Okay?
It's kind of broken everybody. This is, I have people from all around the world who are guests here. It's kind of broken, like globally broken us as a whole.
Another thing that it's done is that zeal and that drive to win in us as Americans has been broken. It is being chipped away at. Like I mentioned, I own a security firm. Now you would think that people would be, lining up for jobs, and I've talked to other people in the industry, in other industries, we can't find workers. And it's like, I would much rather get a unemployment check, than to work. What is that doing to your psyche?
Yeah.
I've seen what it's done to millions of African Americans. And I don't want to get like super political, but to break that in them, that desire to go out and achieve, I've seen that stripped out of us because of the handouts. And I'm not a conservative. I'm not a liberal. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican, because I don't play those games. I'm just a realist, and I'm looking at it happen on a massive scale now.
Awesome. Amazing. So I have it's incredible stuff, man. Amazing stuff right now. I had really just one last question for you before we get out of here. And it goes something like this. I ask this question out of all of my guests.
Okay.
It goes something like this. They like what you're saying. They actually love what you're saying. They want to do some of the similar things, similar interests. They have the similar interests. They want to go down some of the same paths that you've gone through. And they want to get on stages like you. They want to, create a place where they inspire others. Can you give them a few tips, words of wisdom, or just some steps in showing them how to be an authority in this space that you're in now?
Well, Uh, First thing is that you have to find your win. Like, I'll give you an example. I speak. You don't want me to write. I promise you. You don't want me to spell my name. Okay. It's so bad. Okay. So writing is not my win. So I have, I have people who like write, help me, but so mine is I'm a natural motivator. My amazing wife, she is so amazing, but she's not a motivator. She's a teacher. Okay. And so she could talk for 3 hours in PowerPoint and lectures. And there are people who just love that. Like, oh my God, you talk so well. She is a teacher. Her mom is a professor. Her dad is a professor. She's a teacher. That's who she is naturally. So everyone has a natural bent to help and sow in other people's life. Now, if you want to make this a craft, if you want to say, okay, this is going to be my craft, and this is how I'm going to live, and I've dedicated my life to this, well, then that's a different story. It's a different question, and it's a different challenge, because in order for you to make this your craft and to get noticed and to be authority in this, you have to cause or create a disruption. You have to, remember the movie, The Matrix?
Yep.
What is the lady in the red dress? What is the disruption that's going to make you stop and go, wow, why should I listen to you? Like, man, like winning. That is a disruption. Okay. And so once you have that and you introduce that, now people are like, why should I listen to you? Oh, I see why now, because this is something new. This is something powerful. A guy named Trevor Otts taught me that. Him and a guy named Shay Brown. Yeah. So create a disruption in the marketplace and you will cause an inflow into your world.
I love it. That's amazing stuff, man. Amazing stuff. I had no final words. I think my only question now is just how do you think the Colts are going to be how do you think the Colts are going to do this year? That's a loaded question.
I think they're going to do great. I don't know. The NFL is, it's like, okay, it's like, man, from 1 week to the next, you lose a Prescott for the Cowboys, and you lose one person. It's like, it's really tough, because I don't know who's going to be healthy from week to week. It's a hybrid season. You're going to see more injuries. The process has been interrupted, disrupted. So honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. But let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You try to throw it on me. Yeah, you know where I'm going, buddy. You know where I'm going. Sorry, I know you're the host and all. What's going on with the Patriots? How do you think the Patriots going to do this year? I
didn't have many expectations this year. Okay. I think we're lucky to even have Cam, to be honest.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we didn't even get that pickup? So we have no weapons, and that's going to be, that's going to catch up to us. And I think it's catching up to us now. So that's the Patriots. I see bad intentions in the next 2 weeks, and I don't know.
Yeah, but you know what though? Cam has enough years that you can, if he stops running all the time, he has enough years that you can build on Cam. And the Patriots, wow. Belichick is a genius, number one. Yeah. Number two, they draft very well. I don't know how they find them, but they can find a diamond in the rough. They draft well. So if Cam can stick around for a couple more years, you're looking at a championship team. Definitely.
We shall see. I don't know about them drafting very well. I think they should have got a receiver last year. I'm a big draft nut. So
because maybe they're like on a 2 or 3 year plan. You got to understand, it's like, you know what, let's create a foundation. How many years you think Cam has left?
Maybe about 4 years.
All right. So guess what? We're going to not only get to a championship in 4 years, we're going to draft our type of quarterback within those 4 years.
Right.
We're just going to keep the fans happy for a while.
Now, this is great stuff. This is football talk, but if you're really listening between the lines, this is actually really business talk as well. This is life talk.
Yes.
It takes a while. It takes a while to put everything together, the pieces together. All right. And you need the right pieces, the right tools. Yes. And he started off with saying, you know what? I don't know. But you know what? We still got to play the game.
That's right.
We don't know where it's going to end up. We still got to play the game.
It's going on right now. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Let's go.
Yep.
So if I could emphasize just my website, ShawnHarper.org, free copy of my book, The Winning Edge, ShawnHarper.co, and my selfish plug is my Instagram, Shawn Harper Speaker. Like, go to Instagram and like my stuff, because my ego, I want followers, and I don't have no followers yet.
If everybody was honest, they want followers.
Yes, I want followers. I want people saying that's good. And the reason why, if we're honest, the reason why, because we all check each other out. Yeah,
we all check each other out. And if you see something like, this guy, he's good, but he's probably, he's not there yet. You see that from you kind of, it's not great all the time to say that, but you see it. Yeah, and everyone does it. Yeah, so there it is. There it is. And I'm real talk here. Okay. A lot of people don't get that. A lot of people don't worry about the followers. No. It's
I mean, I'm sorry. Look, man,
don't obsess about your followers.
No. Yeah. I do that. Someone likes you. David Johnson followed you, like one follower. Okay, yeah, David, that's cool, man. All right, thanks for thank you. And this Isaiah Foster Grant, 50,000 followers. Yeah. I'm like, hey, Isaiah, what do you do? You got 50,000. Oh yeah, it happens. It happens. It's life. That's it.
It's real talk, guys. It's real talk. Real talk. So go check him out, ShawnHarper.co. If you're listening later, it's Shawn, SHAWN Harper.co, so that you know that for sure.
Yes.
Get over there, get his book, grab his stuff, and hey, I'm this is great, man. I'm so excited you're on here. Like I said, we can probably talk football for another hour. So we're not gonna do that. You got a little bit there, a little taste there, everybody. So please, before you get out of here, go to theauthorityletter.com, get on that list, or text We Are Live at 44222 and get on that list. We are grinding away each week and helping you build your own authority platform. It's so important. I'm going to get you some followers, get you positioned to do great things, right? So that's all I have. Do you have any final words for us today to get us going?
Yeah, it's listen. This is a whole different talk, but it's persistence through resistance. In life, you will get knocked down. You will get knocked down. The average millionaire has filed for bankruptcy over 3 times. But when you get knocked down, if you can look up, you can get up. And I hate to use a football analogy, but you don't have to win all 4 quarters to win the game.
That's true. That's true. I love it.
Patriots love winning games in the 4th. Right?
Yes, we love winning ugly too.
But it's a win
by 3 points in every Super Bowl. Anyway, everybody, great stuff, man. Hey, this is my last talk. Just keep building, keep sharing, and they will come. All right, that's all I gotta say. You're the project. Keep building that project, and you'll get to that authority eventually. I promise you that. All right, take care. That's it for this episode. Just do that thing. Be blessed, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm out.
Awesome.
And that's a wrap for this episode of The Authority Project. Thanks so much for tuning in. And if you like what you heard, we want to hear from you. Subscribe, rate, and give an honest review. Share and tell your friends so they can hear too. And for even more authority building tactics, be sure to sign up at theauthorityletter.com. Get free weekly content and ongoing digital product giveaways to help you on your entrepreneurial journey. We certainly hope you got a key takeaway or maybe an aha moment from today's broadcast. Just remember, it's your authority. Build it. Share it, and they will come. Until next time.